Happy holidays, guys. As you've probably noticed over the past week or two, we've been a little slow on our lives. It's the last full week of the year for us. So really busy with real estate closings and everything. So I appreciate your patience. We'll have two lives for you today. So we're getting them posted. Hopefully you can watch. You can come back and watch it on the group. My name is Zeno Lancaster. I'm the owner of Lancaster Law Firm, headquartered in Nashville with offices in Hendersonville, North Carolina and Canton, North Carolina, 3 different counties, 4 attorneys, lots of paralegals, in-house title abstracting. Most of you guys know the spiel by now. This is a wonderful real estate group. We all toss ideas, wisdom off each other. Lots of different service providers you can find in this group. If you know someone in the real estate industry who could benefit from being a member, please invite them to our group. Tag them in this comment, but you can also click the invite button on our group and get them invited, okay? Because the only way they'll see your comments is if they are in the group. Pretty easy to join. You just have to be in the real estate industry. So if you think they would benefit, or if you think they would bring wisdom, which is probably going to be both, right? We can all sort of get a little smarter together. So I am here today to talk about deed formation and really what realtors and other service providers in real estate can look for in their clients' deeds very quickly and make sure we get ahead of problems that could cause issues at closing, curative work we might have to get on top of to make sure the closing happens fast. Frankly, if you just have questions about a deed and what it's talking about, who actually owns the property, that sort of thing, this video is going to help with you. Let's see. So I guess I'll dive in by saying, roughly speaking, guys, a deed needs a few things. It needs a grantor, it needs a grantee. You'd be surprised what I see from some relocation companies and whatnot where they'll just leave the grantee blank. We got to specify who's selling it, who's deeding it out, who's receiving it. There's special things that the attorneys are going to look at on both, on how they're taking title, everything. We're going to need their address on there so the tax office knows who to tax. That's really what it's there for. And of course, we got to make sure it's executed properly with the notary public and the notary public actually notarized correctly. All of that. And then lastly, again, to make a long story short, we need a legal description on there that actually and adequately describes the property being conveyed. Lots of areas to go wrong on a deed. Lots of things can go wrong. We find notary acknowledgments, that's pretty common, where the notary will forgot to stamp their notary, or they didn't write in who sat with them. Let's see, what else? They'll forget to sign. They put, this person appeared in front of me on May 14th, blank. What year? It's all got to be there. And that's something we check when we get it back. If it's not fully done, that deed is technically not valid. And there are ways to fix that. One of them might be getting a new deed done, though. So it can be sometimes problematic if these people are in Bermuda enjoying their winnings from selling that property. And the notary is no longer around or whatever to fix that. The wrong legal description's in there, guys. The legal description says, hi, we're conveying this property. If it's not right, then you didn't convey that property. It's very simple. Well, we all need, no. It is to protect everyone that the legal description itself actually conveys the property it describes. Now, beyond that, you need special sell language, special conveyance language. This is all defined by statute. I'm trying not to bore you with that. But there has to be conveyance language. You've seen it as, grant, convey, bargain, and sell, something like that in there as conveyance language. There are also warranties in a deed. You can have general warranties, special warranties, and quit claim deeds. Quit. Say it with me. Quit claim deeds. Not quick. Not quit claim. There's nothing quick about it. It's not faster than another deed. Quit claim. And it means I'm not going to claim. I'm going to go ahead and quit claiming that I have any problems with the grantor, because in that deed, in that quit claim deed, they're saying, hey, maybe I own it, maybe I don't. You can have whatever I own in it, warts and all. Don't be mad at me if it's not perfect, all that. Special warranty deed is, I haven't done anything wrong with the title. I'll warrant that the title's good as long as I've owned it, but whatever happened before I owned it, don't come to me about it. General warranty deed, which is the most common with our purchases and what's in your offer to purchase contracts, I'll warrant and defend you forever on that deed, because no one in the past is going to come after you, and I'll warrant you. I'll warrant that I haven't done anything wrong with it either. So different warranties. All of that is in a deed. So I printed out a deed here. This is the deed to my personal home. Now, this one's a little different than any other deed you're going to see because this is a deed adding my beautiful girlfriend Venus onto the title. We did this. I did this on our 1-year anniversary. It is a grand romantic gesture, and I draft deeds for a living, so I had fun with it. Now, this might not be the most professional thing in the world, but it's most romantic, grand gestures aren't meant to be professional. They're meant to be romantic. But you'll see I've got a grantor, a grantee, an address for the tax office. I've got a general warranty deed here. I've got conveyance language in here. I'll read that to you. Let's see. Grant bargain, sell and convey to the grantee. So the conveyance language is in there. You see my signature right there, my beautiful handwriting for all of you to see there. This is all public record, by the way. I've got a beautiful notary acknowledgement by Lauren A. Redmond, which if you worked with her, is one of the best paralegals in the world. And is off to take her bar exam, so we wish her all the luck. We're looking forward to getting her back in February after that bar exam. And you'll see that she notarized that I signed in front of her on the 12th of November, 2021. There's her stamp, there's her signature, and lastly, we've got a legal description, and it adequately describes the property, 0.282 acres on Plat Book 219.3, because guess what? I got a survey done. So when you're saying, does Zeno put his money where his mouth is on the survey issue? Yes, I do. I got a brand new survey done, and now I know there are no problems. I know my exact acreage and boundary lines, okay? Venus is saying, it was the sweetest 1-year gift ever. You're so romantic. Thank you, Venus. You are too, baby. It's funny, getting a little bit made fun of because I had a little fun with this. As I said, it was a grand romantic gesture, and I put this on public record for all time for everybody to see. This is not what I would think most people would base the practice of law for me on, but some people are. People are going to people, right? But I want to read it to you, okay? So it says, witnesseth that the grantor for valuable consideration paid by the grantee. The deed has to have consideration for any contract in North Carolina. There has to be a give and take. There has to be consideration for it to be enforceable. If I say, I give you my box and period, what am I getting for it? It's not really enforceable. We want consideration coming back, and that consideration can be monetary, but it can be anything of value, okay? And this was a gift deed, and you'll see in gift deeds it says they address not having money exchanged in the typical language, which is it typically says for valuable consideration, the receipt of which is hereby acknowledged. We don't have to tell you what it is. We just have to say that the grantor signing this deed has received something of value, and they're okay conveying that out because of that, okay? So we're saying, hey, there was consideration here. In my deed, it says for a valuable consideration paid by the grantee, as well as her ability to put up with grantor, that's me, on a daily basis, the receipt of which is hereby acknowledged, and because the grantor loves, cherishes, appreciates, and adores the grantee for both her smoking hot mind and her smoking hot body, and by these presents does bargain, grant, sell, and convey into the grantee in fee simple all of that certain lot or parcel of land situated in Buncombe County, state of North Carolina, and more particularly described as follows. See Exhibit A, and I've already showed you that legal description. So as Hallmark card as that is, it's a valid deed. It has all of the things a valid deed needs legally to convey property. And of course, I had fun with the romantic language in there, talking about her putting up with me, her smoking hot mind, and her smoking hot body. And people will enjoy that in their title searching, and some people have absolutely made fun of it. But I get made fun of every day, so add it to the stack. But it's actually a valid deed. And so as long as you have those main elements we put in there, you've got a valid deed. So you'll be maybe surprised to learn that a lot of what's in the body of a deed is sort of not important. Are those elements met? Does the property adequately described? You do need to read it because anything in there is controlling, but you don't necessarily have to have certain things in there for it to be a valid conveyance, okay? So it's important what it says, but sometimes what it doesn't say is not important as long as it has those other elements and properly describes the property. Venus says haters gonna hate. And what a hilarious thing to, yeah, what a hilarious thing to hate on. Yeah, come on guys, it's Christmas. Go do something romantic for someone instead of hating on my deed. How about that? But anyway, I hope that helps with deed conveyances. When you're looking at your deed, listing agents especially, when you're pulling that deed typically when you list that property, go ahead and look. You know, if you have any questions about it, for goodness sake, send it over to me. I'm happy to look at it, make sure, hey, Zeno, is this a problem? It'll take me 2 seconds to say, doesn't look like it's going to be a problem. Now, we won't know without a title search, but at first glance, that's all you can do. Send it over. We're happy to look at it. If you see a weird execution or a weird legal description, or someone got the property as Joe Bob Thornton and their name is Joe Bob Thornton III, that can be an issue. Maybe we want to look at that before you list that property, or someone has passed, or someone has, put it in a trust, or sometimes they'll get deeds and they treat it like it's the Wild West. They'll sign a deed into their trust and they'll stick it in their lockbox. They don't record the thing, and they're like, "Oh, I've got the deed right here. See, that's not how it works. You have to record it." So that's something I didn't talk about. By the way, once it's validly signed and everything, it's a valid deed to begin with, but for it to obligate everyone else in the world to adhere to it, it has to be recorded. Otherwise, you own the property, but if no one else knows about it by recording, they can go out and get the property too. And the first in North Carolina to record wins. Don't ever forget that we are a pure race state. In other words, race to the courthouse, get it recorded. Has to be recorded. And there are all kinds of rules with that too. For example, a gift deed not recorded, and I believe it's, gosh, now I'm forgetting. I think it's 2 or 3 years, not more than that, is a void. I think it's 2. So if you got a gift deed from grandma and she said, record this when I pass, and it's been 10 years, too late. That is a void deed. It's as if it doesn't exist. If it's for money in consideration, that changes. So it has to be a gift deed. So there are all kinds of fun little rules like that. But hopefully that's helped you understand some of the rules in these deeds. Comment with questions, ask questions, tag anybody who has had a weird deed issue. A lot of us have had them in the past year in the comments. I would love to hear their stories. I don't know what else you guys got. Invite anyone that you think would benefit from this or any of our other lives. I'm about to go live right after this and talk about local lenders. So if anybody's involved with local lenders or needs a good lender, make sure you watch the next live I'm about to post. My name is Zeno Lancaster. I'm the owner of Lancaster Law Firm, headquartered in Nashville, offices in Hendersonville and Canton, North Carolina. We would love to work with you. We are taking files. Now, we are closed from the 22nd through the end of December of 2021, in case you're watching this next year. We can do rush deals. If you need closings done in less than 4 weeks, no problem. You're going to hear problems from other firms. Let us know how we can help, guys. If you have questions, you don't have to try us out. Ask us questions and decide if you think we'd be a good fit for you. Make us number 2 and 3 if you've got a number 1 you love. Hi, Michelle. And guys, watch for the next live. Get ready to post it. Take care.